Thanks for joining us. I'm meteorologist Joe Winters. It is Friday morning in advance of, well, what's been a severe threat that we've followed for almost a week here in eastern Iowa. The day has come when that severe threat will materialize across eastern Iowa as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. And basically what we've been watching for the past several days, unchanged in where the threat is and again where the strongest storms are expected. First of all, let's take a look at the latest that we have from the severe weather outlook, and we're not alone. In fact, as you can see, from areas of southern Minnesota, southern Wisconsin through eastern Iowa, all the way back down to Louisiana and Texas, there are certainly chances of severe weather and a large area of enhanced risk of severe weather stretching from Memphis back up toward Paducah through St. Louis and of course here in eastern Iowa. In eastern Iowa, that enhanced threat also continues along and south of Highway 20, but all across eastern Iowa. So don't worry if you're in orange or if you're in red. Basically, you have the threat for damaging winds, tornadoes, as well as large hail as these thunderstorms develop and push across eastern Iowa. So again, this is in the afternoon and evening. We'll be running through Pinpoint Futurecast to show you some timing as well, but just basic timing right now, I would say you really want to be weather aware between about 2 and 7 p.m. I think that's when the strongest storms will push across eastern Iowa. Realize, though, that any storm that develops, let's say after the noon hour, could turn severe. So again, be very, very weather aware as we move through the day. Let's take a look at the setup. Area of low pressure moving into the state. We've got a cold front off toward the west and a warm front to the north. Quite a contrast on either side of that front where we have some warm and moist air. That's here in eastern Iowa. Cooler and drier air off to the north. Two ingredients that are all set along with some very strong surface winds ushering in more moisture that are in place to allow this severe weather to develop across all of eastern Iowa. And again, a close look at our severe weather potential here does include the entire TV9 viewing area. Damaging winds, as you'll see, the threat because these storms are going to be moving very quickly along with some tornadoes, and some of those tornadoes could be strong. Here's Pinpoint Futurecast with some timing for you. Again, by the lunch hour, there could be an isolated shower or storm developing. If it does, it could be severe, but it does look like we wait until the afternoon. That line starts to form around 2 o'clock in the vicinity of Interstate 35. It's kind of the area we'll be watching. Then those storms will develop and move rapidly toward the east. You see by 3 o'clock, anywhere near Charles City, Waterloo, toward Cedar Rapids and Iowa City. We move toward the 4 o'clock hour. They're now moving up toward Manchester and Charles City, as well as heading up toward Decorah, back down toward Washington. By 5 and 6 o'clock, they're moving through areas of our northeast zone all the way down through Delaware County, Dubuque County as well. And then by 6 o'clock, they are moving through and crossing the Mississippi River. And by 7 o'clock tonight, that activity is done. Now, on the backside of that storm system, we also have some strong winds. What will that do from the northwest? Well, it's going to drop our temperature, but also realize it will bring some snow showers after midnight into the early morning hours. And it's not out of the question northern Iowa could be left with a little light accumulation on some of the grassy areas. So we really have all modes of weather that we are going to see. Here's a little closer look at our severe weather threats as it stands right now. That high wind threat, again, really enhanced near Manchester, Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, and Washington. That's where damaging winds of 80 plus are possible. But again, damaging winds, thunderstorm winds, anything greater than 58 are possible across most of Iowa. And again, high wind across the area, even in red, could exceed 70 miles per hour. Hail. Large hail, greater than 2 inches in diameter, certainly a possibility in some of the storms. And then again, a few strong tornadoes are possible as well, where we get that right spin in the atmosphere to allow those to develop. Severe weather checklist, we've kind of checked off everything we need. We have wind shear, strong southeast winds at the surface, some southwest winds in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. That'll give us the energy with that storm. With the low moving in, it only enhanced as the spin that we'll see. The lift is there. We have the warm air that'll lift itself, and then the cold front moves in to even push it faster into the atmosphere, and as it moves up, that's when we find that lift again, bringing us very unstable air. That's also due to the moisture that's in the area, and we're noticing those dew points climbing as well. You notice it when you go outside. You'll continue to notice it mid to upper 50s, maybe even some low 60-degree dew points are possible as that system continues to move through. That will again bring the very muggy air, and that just adds fuel to the storm systems themselves. Now, want to let you know what to do. I would expect we'll see severe weather watches and warnings as we head through the later morning, early afternoon hours. First of all, during a watch, or even right now, know what county you're in. Be prepared to seek shelter. These storms are going to be moving so fast that even when a warning is issued, you're not going to have time to think. You're going to just need to go to your safe place. Have your emergency plan ready to go and have multiple ways to receive those weather alerts. That includes the First Alert Weather app, of course, and your NOAA weather radio. Those are the best advice, again, to make sure you know something is happening wherever you are. Know your alerts as well. A tornado watch means be prepared. A tornado warning means take action, and a tornado emergency also means take action. That's for a large destructive tornado in the area. We'll be watching to see again how those develop. Those are just some of the words that you could hear as this system moves through. What do you do when that warning is issued? Of course, lowest level of your home, under something sturdy. Grab your bike helmet, put it on. Cover with blankets, pillows, or towels. Avoid windows, doors, and outside walls. If you don't have a basement, put the bike helmet on. Same thing, cover with blankets, pillows, or towels, and get to a small interior room. Where do you find the best safe shelter? Of course, you want to be inside. That's the best place to be. And if you're in a home, you want to get to avoid outside walls and windows. The safest place to be, of course, is in the basement, but there you see some of the areas also that have enclosed areas without windows that can be a safer place as severe weather moves through. As we take a look at our winds behind this system, Saturday we'd have those strong northwest winds. So we have winds greater than 35 right now. That'll be greater than 40 on Saturday and could be greater than 30 on Sunday. That's without thunderstorms. And then look at next week, Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, same type thing, some strong winds, and again we could see some very, very strong storms. As far as our main severe weather threats this afternoon, early evening, high wind and tornado, large hail also a threat. People have been asking, are we going to see some heavy rain? That is very unlikely. Just with the speed these storms are moving, heavy rain probably will not be an issue with these storms. Once again, let's run through the timing for you because that's kind of most important to everyone that's watching. Noon hour, we could see some isolated storms start to develop. As we work into the afternoon, let's say around 2 o'clock, we're going to watch for some initiation of storms in the vicinity of Interstate 35. Slightly east, slightly west of Interstate 35, that's kind of where we're looking at. Then those storms develop and move rapidly toward the east. They move into the TV9 viewing area 2 to 3 o'clock, maybe a 4 to 6 o'clock time frame. They're crossing from Cedar Rapids toward Dubuque. And then as we move from about a 6 to 8 o'clock time frame, they head away from the northeast zone and Dubuque all the way into areas of Wisconsin, again, with those storms causing damage due to damaging winds, as well as that potential that we could see some tornadoes. Once again, just want to show you how that breakdown is as it stands right now. And Jan's going to have an update early in the afternoon as well, certainly on the midday news, to let you know how this is evolving. Right now, though, everything is setting up for a high wind tornadic event across eastern Iowa, and you see that covers all of the TV9 viewing area, north to south and east to west. So wherever you are, that includes Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, and Waterloo, the likelihood of severe weather moving through is there. And that again will be this afternoon into the early part of our evening hours. Once again, just to stay safe, make sure that you know where to go and what you need to do. What you can do right now is certainly prepare. And certainly over the past couple of days with Severe Weather Awareness Week, we've been giving you the tools that you can prepare for. Know what county you're in so that when we mention a county on the air, you hear a county's under a warning, it comes across your phone, guess what? You know that you are in that warning. Be prepared to seek shelter and know where that shelter is. So have your emergency plan ready to go, whether you're at home, whether you're at work, whether you're at school, and have multiple ways to receive those weather alerts across all of eastern Iowa. Again, as this storm passes through, we are expecting damaging winds, isolated strong tornadoes along with tornadoes, and the possibility of some large hail from the storms. Best advice, just be ready for that. Be prepared, again, during the afternoon and evening hours. And just in the back of your mind, continue to know where you're going to go if severe weather warnings are issued. And again, have ways to receive those as we do move through now the start of severe weather season, that transition from winter to summer. We always see it here in eastern Iowa. March has been quiet, but certainly this March looks like it'll go out like a roaring lion as these storms move through. That's what we have at the moment. We'll continue to keep you updated, of course, through all of the places that we put our weather up, including the First Alert Weather app. Jan will have an update on the midday news as well and take a look at how those storms are evolving. But be prepared. Don't be scared. Stay safe. and stay with your trusted local news and weather source, KCRG TV 9.